how Brad and Angelina are embracing Shiloh's new identity. When it was announced that Brad and Angelina were expecting their first child, the world awaited the arrival of their newborn. Their daughter Shiloh was born in May 2006, and since the moment she was born, she took center stage of the media frenzy. Just no one was expecting for Brangelina's young daughter to cause such a frenzy with her transformation as she grew into teenagehood. Not even her famous parent. The hype surrounding Brad and Angelina's relationship never quite seemed to die down, no matter how long they were together. As the media formed a constant presence around their home, Angelina made the drastic decision to give birth in Namibia, away from the cameras of the paparazzi. The public was ravenous for a glimpse of their offspring, speculating whose good looks she would ultimately inherit, but it was important to the couple that they kept her away from the spotlight for as long as possible. Many families are content to stop with 3 children, but not Brad and Angelina. Both knew they wanted a large family and were happy to continue adopting children in need of parents. A year after Shiloh was born, the couple adopted 3-year-old Pax from Vietnam. It warmed Angelina's heart to have such a diverse family, and it never made a difference to the parents if the children were theirs biologically. They loved them all the same. It might seem that celebrities have an easier time adopting children, but really their only advantage is having more funds available. A few years before Shiloh came into the picture, Angelina and Brad had to physically travel to Ethiopia to become Zahara's caretakers. At the time, the children were only in Jolie's custody, but Brad would soon change that. By 2006, Brad was also named as guardian to the children, and Angelina had their last names changed to Jolie-Pitt, signaling that they were one united family. If Brad and Angelina thought the public would soon shift their attention to someone else, they were mistaken. Shiloh Jolie-Pitt earned herself such a following, even as an infant, that a likeness of her was created out of wax for Madame Tussauds. Janine DiGioacchino, who managed the wax museum, said, "Even though she's just a few months old, Shiloh is already an iconic figure in world of popular culture." It's clear that American priorities were out of order as they obsessed over an infant. The Brangelina romance may have already seemed like it was sufficient tabloid fodder in and of itself, but the couple could hardly have prepared for just how crazy the public would go when they announced Angelina's first pregnancy. Actors often understand that their line of work is inherently public. However, they recognize that it's unfair for their children to be thrust into the spotlight just because they have famous parents. For all their efforts to keep their relationship between them, it was a hard balance to strike. The romance between Brad and Angelina didn't begin under the most auspicious circumstances. The two became acquainted with one another while co-starring in Mr. and Mrs. Smith. However, at the time, Brad was married to Jennifer Aniston. As Pitt realized he was developing feelings for Jolie, he filed to divorce Aniston, an action which fans considered traitorous. Jolie claimed, "Nothing happened before the divorce," saying, "To be intimate with a married man when my own father cheated on my mother is not something I could forgive."